So, hello, and I'm John Lapid from Gamezo, and today I have the wonderful opportunity to interview one of the meme lords himself in the League of Legends community, Fosty. So, hello,
Yeah,
Fosty, and thank you for doing this interview with me.
no problem, man. Always happy to share my experience with the community. So yeah, what's up?
So, first of all, I think we should introduce who Fosty exactly is to people who might not use Twitter too much. So, who exactly are you, and what do you do for the League of Legends community?
Well, I'm the social media manager. That's the title us memers, hold, and that's what we do. We make memes and make community laugh. Nothing special. You're there to hold the pages and actually give an identity to a team. Identity on the social media to the teams because you have the players and you have the social media which represents them in obviously the good way. So yeah, we're the face behind the mask, of the team.
Okay. So, as I said, you're one of the meme lords of the League of Legends community. So I actually want to ask, what actually sparked you to start creating memes and content about League of Legends?
I mean, it was quite random, I didn't actually choose to do that, I just started right away. I started spamming. I don't know if you remember that, but I started spamming Fnatic perks. There was the off season, and I was like, oh yeah, this is funny. I was a Fnatic fan back then, and I was like, oh, perks to Fnatic. That is the move that could make Fnatic, the big team it once was. And I'm like, let's spam that. And I went on and spammed Fnatic perks under every single post I found. It was like insanely how many times I spammed that picture, and it was getting noticed by people, and people started following me. At that time I grew my account from 100 to 700, 800 people just because of Fnatic perks. And that was something that got me started, and a big milestone where I started considering this valuable career was when I switched to G2 in on November 19th when Records joined, and that was the thing that skyrocketed my career because it said, I make a poll, and I ask, should I stay Fnatic Fosty or G2 Fosty? And there is a vote, and there is 7,000 votes, and 5,000 of them is to join J2. And yeah, I just make decision because I love Reckless and I still love him. I support him, and I make the decision, and I just say I can't. That tweet gets 4,000 likes. Okay, 3.5 thousand likes and 100, 200 retweets. And even Carlos responds to it, says like "Welcome to G2," etc., and retweets my post. And overnight, I actually go from 700 to 2,700 followers, which really skyrocketed my career and told me, well, you should try and do this. And yeah, it worked out somehow.
So it's good that you've actually mentioned a lot about how your careers skyrocketed thanks to this, because you
Yeah,
created quite the fan following thanks to your content. Was this something you
I
expected?
No, definitely did not expect. Like, I have my account since 2014, but I was like just using it to work around. And since, let's say, October, that's when I started taking this seriously. I went from October to July. Now I went and gained 13,000 followers, which is insane following, for somebody who was totally unknown to the scene. And now I'm just followed by all these personalities, multiple CEOs like Carlos, like NIP, for example. The whole world follows me, and it's kind of insane, that I did not expect this kind of support that I have, But I'm pretty glad it happened, So we'll see how it goes. I hope I get to 15,000 by end of the year, which I think is a reasonable start. When this year began, my original goal was 10,000, but some kind of a dream, till the end of the year would be 20,000. But that's a bit too much. I'll be happy with 15,000 because let's be honest, like you don't grow your account from 100 to 15,000 in a year. That stuff does not happen often.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, considering the content you put out, I'm pretty sure 15,000 will be very reasonable.
I mean, I assume it's like 13,300 now. Like by the end of the year, there is like 6 months. It's like bound to happen by this point, I believe. So yeah,
Yeah. So You mentioned that a good number of people follow you, and that even includes CEOs and teams. I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
has there ever been a time that you actually crossed the line with the memes you make?
Well, there was many times. Like if there is any social media manager or any personality on Twitter, it has to be me. Besides Portfolio from C9 with that "you gonna approve of" tweet, that got him fired from Immortals. Because like I crossed lines multiple times. Like first line that I crossed was getting blocked by TSM and Dunk and double it. It was kind of insane. I got blocked by making 06 memes, and I just spammed them under every single tweet with 06, 006, and I got banned and blocked totally by TSM in November, December, something like that. And in April, I apologized to TSM and Dunk, and he lifted the blocks both from his personal account and main TSM account. And obviously, I couldn't get unblocked by double it because, there's no way to apologize to him. And the second time, like my second major time where I crossed the line was when I called Fnatic a garbage organization, which was really, really, a bad thing to say. I mean, I'm sorry for that, but to be honest, when I made that tweet, I didn't expect it to gain that attention it did. Like, it got to 600 likes. Even Sam Matthews responded to clear the stuff, and Dardo blocked me, and it was kind of insane. Like I didn't check my facts. I called them out for things and management issues and self-made stuff out, and I did not know that some other teams, actually did the same things Fnatic did. So it was really, really my bad, and yeah, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, so far that tweet was so far my worst tweet. And one tweet I regret making, but the damage is done. You can't really go back and fix the errors you make, especially when it's with Fnatic, which obviously is a rival to G2 and which you have to make fun of usually as a G2 fan, because that is how it goes.
Well, it's good to see that despite you crossing the line, you're still trying to make up for it. You've apologized to TSM, and I believe you've also apologized to Fnatic.
I mean, there is no real way, to apologize to them. I mean, the only way I could is that, message Sam Matthews or make the public statement. But I guess, it's really hard to get rich and reach out to them, and depends. Like for example, Dunk was pretty fine with it. He was like really chill about it. He didn't make any fuss about it. But I don't know if Fnatic would be the same, considering that as I said before, as a G2 fan, as a G2 meme creator, it's bound to make fun of Fnatic because that stuff is Fnatic is your rival, and you're there to have fun, obviously, but it's bound that you have to make fun of Fnatic to create content for G2 fans because obviously you are not allowed to call them garbage organization like I did, but it's bound to make memes about them, and those memes can trigger some people. Somebody is always going to be triggered. You can't make everyone happy. But yeah, the only tweet I'm sorry about is that, calling them garbage org, which was way off the line, which I would say.
Well, at least you're still sorry about it, even if you can't necessarily directly apologize to Sam and the
Yeah.
organization. So
Maybe they see the interview, so maybe they
hopefully.
maybe, yeah. Hopefully.
So I actually want to talk about memes and League of Legends. How important do you think is creating these light-hearted tweets when it comes to League of Legends community?
I mean, it's so essential to actually make memes and have a good social media game. Like, if you compare the rest, I mean, I won't really name other orgs because I already, don't have good relations with some of the orgs because I said some things that they should not, calling them out for their moves, etc., etc. So I won't name them, but I'll name the few that are actually doing the good stuff. Currently, in my opinion, the best social media presence is created by G2 and Cloud9, and I believe that all orgs should take a role model in them and create something similar because I believe that posting game updates, changes and stuff is way back. It's gone. Like that's not way of the social media people should currently do. Like you can't just post updates and expect your following to be happy with it. Like for example, Rogel also recently got added to that top echelon of things, which I think they do a very good job. But TN is leaving, so I don't know if it's going to change when he leaves. But still, I believe it's so important and it's so needed. And many orgs don't have that violence, as Portolio said on his tweet. So it has to be changed. I don't know. Like some orgs refuse to accept it. I won't name them, but they refuse. They think it's stupid, it's childish. But trust me, if you have a good fan base, if you have a big fan base, your fan base wants stuff to be happening on Twitter. Because they follow you for that reason. And if you can make them laugh, if you can create this narrative, they're going to love it. Because all these tweets, like, I mean, you saw like why G2 is the best, like because they have the best content, and that's why they gained a lot of fans. Like they are created back then in 2015, and since then they became one of the biggest brands in esports and one of the best content teams, if not the best, and it tells you something. You have to think like if a team exists for only 5-6 years and is already doing insane success and making all these big partnerships with Ralph Lauren and all these big, stuff, big sponsors, they have to be good, And the biggest thing they're looked on for is their success, obviously, in games because they have good teams, but their content team and their social media team is unbeatable. And Cloud9 is also pretty good in social media game, but content team, I'm not so sure. They can create better content, but their social media team is very good. So I believe many teams should actually start, in, including this and going ham on social media. Obviously, don't be too toxic, but don't be, just posting updates because that's not the way, So yeah, that's about it.
Well, it's good to see that you agree that social media is a very big part when it comes to esports teams. Because yeah, when it comes to esports teams, sometimes just seeing the team perform isn't enough. When you think of an organization, you also want to look into the other things like is the quality of content they put out well, because at the end of the day it's not just going to be the esports team that will get sponsors. Sometimes it's also going to be the content they put out, like how G2 is
I
making a
mean,
lot thanks to their content.
definitely, like you see every single video that J2 publishes. That's big thing that Karina, is responsible for, as well as her content team. But she's like incredible. Like she does all this content, and every video you watch, even if it's a sponsored video, they make sure it's good. They make sure that you actually watch it, And even total random videos, for example, with Asus, they get Wunder messed up and everything like that, and they just include their players and they make it look good. It's just not, oh, we are sponsored to that and that. No, they actually make a totally new video to announce it, which is really, really nice to see.
Well, speaking of content, I actually wanted to ask something that I guess is on a slightly more personal level. Can you, aside from the 06 TSM meme, which I'm sorry TSM, I think it's funny,
Yeah,
and I think for a lot of people it's
it
also
is.
kind of funny.
I mean, it is funny for them as well. I mean, I talked to Dunk about it. It's that I just spammed it too much. It just one repeated meme over and over, and yeah, it got annoying, and they just blocked me because yeah, I overused it, so
That's
it's fine, I
interesting.
guess. But it's still funny. I still make the meme, but it's just not spamming and slandering them under every tweet, which was what I did. But I mean, it definitely helped me, but it was not a good way. It was not a good look. So I'm glad I changed that.
So, aside from the TSM 06 meme, is there any specific meme you're most proud of, or in your eyes, are they all banger memes?
I mean, I do my best to make best possible memes. Especially lately. At the start my memes were not that good. They were pretty from time to time, but there is like plenty I did, which I think that FPX meme about Carlos, collecting his gauntlet and that in Reckless is one of the best I did because it's a video meme. It took me like 5-6 hours to make, but it never got attention it deserved. Usually these video memes are the best, the most quality ones I do, but they never do get any likes because they're video. nobody's going to watch on Twitter a 1 minute video, you know? They're just going to scroll past it, you know, or not care. So usually, you know, those don't get attention they deserve, but there's like plenty of memes, you know. Every single meme that I did has some special, you know, stuff in it, but I guess the biggest one I did, which was viral, got rival, was, you know, Fnatic in, I mean, not Fnatic, Reckless in Fnatic and Reckless in G2, you know, Happy B and Sad B. That one went viral and it got like 25,000 likes and 2,000 retweets, which was insane. But besides that, maybe, yeah, it's again too toxic because it just, you know, uses player emotion. But I believe if it was that bad, nobody would like it, you know. So I believe it's still a good meme. But it's really hard to choose, you know. It's really hard to choose which meme is the best.
Well, yeah, when you put out a lot of banger memes, it's really hard to pick.
Yeah.
But I
I mean,
at
that's
least
the whole plan, you know. You do the best quality ever because you have to, you know, if you want to match and be part of best of the best, you have to make biggest quality, you know. You have to pay attention to detail, you have to pay attention to the latest trends, you know. That's how social media works because using the trend first is going to get you a lot of attention, and having a lot of detail will actually show that you are actually good at what you do, you know, and make the meme look more quality, you know, has more quality, and if it has more quality, it's going to appeal to eye much more.
well, I guess because you're bringing up how a lot of well, how do I put it? I'm not even sure how to put it. Fine. I guess to end it all, I wanted to ask: is there anything you'd like to say to your fans that help make you one of the biggest memers in the League of Legends community?
I mean, I appreciate every single one of them. Like, I've been there for my fans anytime they need something, they just DM me and they respond to everyone. Like, no matter how small or how big they are, I will be always there to respond to their memes and tags. And that's like, I guess, what made me big, you know, that interaction with the community because I'm close to my community. I don't ignore them, you know. Whenever they respond or tag me or message me, I'm there to answer. And that kind of activity, you know, got me there. But that's why I appreciate every single one of them. And because of them, I'm able to live from social media, which is kind of insane, you know, especially in Serbia, which is quite poor country, you know. And thanks to them, I'm able to do this for a living and talk to all these big people, you know, which 9 months ago I thought it was insanity. Like, if somebody told me that Carlos is going to talk to me or follow me, you know, I would be like, nah, man, you're trolling. Like, there's no way that big guy is going to ever say hi to me. And now I can actually message him and ask him anything, and he's going to take some of his time and say something. You know, obviously he is a busy guy, but for example, Carlos, you know, because you know, it's why I take him as the example is because, you know, he actually helped me a lot in my career, and I take him as my father of esports. You know, it's kind of odd, but it's like it is how it is, you know, because Carlos really retweeted a lot of my stuff and really helped me grow. Because if he didn't retweet my stuff, like, there is no way I would grow this much. You know, if there was not Carlos, it would be really hard to grow. You know, and yeah, like, he was some sort of a connection to me and to G2 fans. So if he didn't retweet all the stuff I did, I probably wouldn't grow as much. Maybe I wouldn't grow at all, you know? And that's why I believe most CEOs should actually get activated with their community and talk to them because I mean, you've been in this situation before. Like, everyone has been in this situation before. If you're a small guy, you know, and the CEO of the organization you love, you follow, you support, you buy merch from, comes in your like tweet and responds to it, you know, says ha ha ha, likes it, or something like that. That means a lot. Like, I remember when I started off, and when Carlos would like my tweet, I would be jumping around the house, you know, which is like insane. But that's how majority of fans feel like when some CEO or an org responds to them. It really means a lot. Like, social media teams and CEOs like don't understand the amount of you know, feelings, happy feelings they can bring to normal fan base. And Carlos does it on consistent level. Like he is retweeting from tweets from Kingslayer, from Demos, from Crimson. You know, these are all my good friends from social media. Even Yuri, you know, recently, and that means a lot. You know, he's like, it doesn't cost him anything. You know, he has followers and he retweets it. It's obviously about his brand and everything. He's not going to retweet anything, but still, like, it doesn't cost him anything. And that thing brings insane amount of help to all of us in the community, you know, and can actually bring careers. Like it brought, to me, Dot career, or Axel Springer career, which is kind of insane. And all these talks with big orgs like NIP, Vitality, Astralis and Schalke, if there was not help, and if there is nobody to actually push you, in front of masses, you're not going to grow. So obviously I kind of sidetracked, but without him and without my community that actually like the stuff I do, I wouldn't be there. And I'll be always there for my community, and I appreciate every single one of them. They can always come and ask me whatever they want. If they need help, if they need tips, anything, I'm always, free in DMs. So if you have some concerns, some questions, some, advices, I'm always there to listen and help you whenever you need. So that's about it, I guess.
Well, it's very sweet to see that you're very open to your community, and not only that, as you said over and over, you're very thankful to Carlos, for who has practically helped build your career as not only a social media manager, but as, of course, one of the biggest memers in the community right now.
I mean, yeah, as of now, I guess. I mean, there's plenty bigger ones, but as we, check the knowledge and stuff, like activity levels, I believe everyone has seen me on their timeline, even if they don't follow me, So I believe I could say I'm the biggest currently, the most active one and most notorious one, I say, because all this fanatic, switch to G2, etc., etc., and I constantly keep getting into drama and stuff. So I hope I'll chill out a bit, but I like it, I can't really say that I don't like this stuff, and I'm extremely thankful to my community, because without them, I'd be still, studying law and ghosting esports events, being no one, and probably be unhappy, but like, this opens many doors, and maybe I become esports lawyer, when I finish law, which is a viable career choice, which I would look into. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for doing this interview with me, and I wish you the best of luck in not only your career in esports, but also in your college as becoming a
Yeah.
future lawyer.
Yeah. Thank you, Rashin, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Have a good day.